rise in the summer morning.
Alright, hey, it's Mick here, and I'm making a video on how to do an oil change on the Dorado forks. Alright, so I've had my Dorado Expert, alright, my Manitou Dorado Expert for a year now, and I'm just going to do a service on it, and all I'm going to do is change the oil. Alright, now Hayes has a YouTube video that tells you how to do everything. So that's how I'm kind of getting this. All right, I'm doing everything. Like I'm changing the oil except everything else. All right, pretty much the rest of the stuff is like you change a bunch of O-rings and stuff. I didn't buy any kit or anything for this. All right, so honestly, the least I think I could do is change the seals. All right, the dust seals would be a good idea because my damper leg was leaking oil earlier. And now it's not leaking anymore because I kind of cleaned it, but I want to do a service and oil change. All right, that's all I'm going to do. We're just going to change the fork oil, and then for the air spring we'll change the bath oil that's inside the air spring. Okay, but we're going to start with the damper side first, and then it should be. I watched the videos like a gazillion times, so I'm gonna go do it. All right, and it requires some specific tools. I will put a link to where you can get some of the special tools in the description of the video down below. Okay, yeah. So I think there's like a specific intervals that you're supposed to do the service at, but I don't. It's in hours, and I don't record how many hours I ride the bike. Okay, and it's not really a mountain bike. It's what I'm using it on is a Sauron Light Bee. All right, it's basically an electric dirt bike is what it is. Okay, but I want to make sure for the next racing season that I do some kind of maintenance on them. All right, and that's what we're going to do. We're just going to change the oil. All right, I'm going to change it with Maxima 5-way fork oil. All right, and yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so inside this box is a little toolkit that I made to service the Dorado forks. All right, I've got a seal driver. However, I will not be changing the seals. Like I said, I'm just going to be changing the oil. I've got some bath oil. I've got the bottom bracket socket. All right, it uses a weird socket. You have to buy one of these or you're gonna mess it up. And then I've got some old Maxima fork oil lying around that we're gonna use. All right, and then I've got a measuring cup. All right, I bought these from the dollar store. All right, I've got a measuring cup, and if we do the seals, I got something to soak the foam. The foamies on, okay, and then I've got a measuring cup here so we can measure how much oil that we're going to put in there, because that's the way they do it. They just tell you to drain the fork, and then you put a certain amount in, and then that's it. All right, so they don't do it like the motorcycles where you put it in and then you have to measure the distance from the top, blah blah blah. They don't do that. Okay, and then I've got some Slickoleum grease. All right. So this is actually what they use in the video, right? But they got like a big tub of it. Okay, so yeah, I will make a separate video on this little toolkit that I made, but that'll be a separate video, okay? Because like I said, we're not going to use all this stuff. Okay, there it is, Dorado Expert. So let's go. We're going to remove the damper leg out. Okay, that's this one right here. So I've already removed the wheel, all right, and mine has a headlight bolted onto it. I've taken that out. Okay, I put it back in because I kind of missed a step. But yeah, so before you take it out all the way, tighten the pinch bolts again. So I've tightened just the top one. Okay, I think that should be fine. And then get your bottom bracket socket. All right, this guy. And then loosen the top cap. All right, just loosen it, don't remove it. And I've got just enough room to do it. Okay, it's loose. All right. That's it. Just crack it loose. And then now we're going to go unbolt it from the crown and slide it out. Okay. And you use a 5mm Allen wrench to do that, okay? So just loosen it. There's one bolt up here and there's 2 bolts down here. Mine's got a bunch of tape on it. I don't know if it's going to just come out. Okay, you don't have to take the bolts out all the way. Just make sure it's not putting any tension on the pinch bolts, okay? Also, take note of the height where your forks are, okay? Right now, I'm pretty much right underneath the top cap, all right? All right, so in the video, they said you could use the Manitou sag adjustment tool, all right, little measurement tool. You would stick it in here where the pinch bolt is, and then it will open it up. Or maybe, oh yeah, I see how it works. There we go. So there's like a little slot here, all right, and then you can put this in here, and it'll push on the bolt. Does it work on this one? Oh, I can't do it on this one. Okay, if you don't have this tool, you can probably use a flathead screwdriver or one of these guys, all right, a plastic trim tool, so you don't mar the crown up. Okay. Okay, mine does not want to come out because I got some tape here, so I got to remove this tape. I just have to remember to put it back. Okay, it's coming out now. You could probably spray some kind of lubricant on it, like a silicone lube also. So before we take it out all the way, we're going to remove the bumper, all right? Make sure you put it back in if you're using it. Okay. And you should be able to slide it out the rest of the way. Okay, there it is. Fork leg acquired. Okay, I've got a vise here with soft jaws. These are the nylon ones. All right, I think you can use aluminum ones also. Let me set it up so I can put it on here. All right. Okay, so you can see I've got it on my my vise here, and I've got it lightly clamped with the soft jaws, and I've got a tissue paper here, or a paper towel, to keep it from, you know, scratching it. All right, and then they want you to remove this guy. All right, so remove the top cap, the socket. All right, that's why they want you to loosen it so it doesn't spin. Okay, I'm going to remove the top cap. Okay, so the cap is loose, and then now we're going to remove the cap, totally remove the cap. Okay. Okay, so with a 12mm open-ended wrench, you're going to pull up on this, all right, and then so the leg will, you can see the leg is moving, okay, and I pull up on this. But what we're going to do Okay, so there's a nut under here that you put the open-ended part of the wrench on, and then you can remove the top cap from here. Okay. Okay, still looks good in there. Okay, now that the top cap is free, go ahead and take the fork leg out. All right, and then drain the oil in a drain pan. Okay, so like basically right here, I got one. Okay, well it still looks good. I think I needed to change it. Okay, and I'm just gonna let that drain for a while. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it here on the vise. Okay, and leave it upside down. That's what I want to do. Okay, and we'll let that drain for like 10 minutes or something, okay, until it stops dripping. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes. So what we're going to do is we're going to separate the inner leg from the outer leg, and all you got to do is pull this out, okay? Okay, just like that. Okay, now more oil is dribbling out of there. It's going to be messy, guys. Alright, and so what they want you to do next is to take the damper rod and pump it a bunch of times to get all the oil out of it. Okay, pretty much just pump it until you it doesn't have any oil in it, okay? So I've got the outer leg, all right, or the upper leg draining. It's upside down right now, and then we're going to pump this until no more fluid comes out. And you'll feel it. It'll be easier to move the rod. It'll get easier and easier. Okay, while you're doing this, be very careful not to scratch anything, especially on the stanchions. Okay, I've got most of the oil out. All right, so now so what we're gonna do is we're gonna clean the legs, the upper and the lower legs. All right, this is the upper right here. And so clean the outside and the inside, all right, as best as you can. But yeah, you probably wanna clean the inside first, all right? So basically, just make sure the inside of this leg is clean. So you're gonna clean the bore. Since we're not going to take the seal out, you should probably wipe the seal, all right? If there's any kind of dirt or anything in there, get it out of there. Okay, and then what they did in the video is stuff a paper towel or rag in there. All right, and then get some kind of rod or something. Okay, haha, I got the perfect tool to clean the inside of the leg, all right? I'm trying to do the most stuff I can do without taking the the damper assembly apart. All right, we're just, like I said, we're just changing the oil. So what I've got here is an arrow. Right, he's making does archery, not much nowadays, but this arrow is about the same length. It's a little bit longer than the leg here. All right, so I've got the paper towel in there, and we're going to very carefully run it through the leg. Okay. And that should help get all the, all that leftover fluid in there. It looks really good in there, so I don't think maybe we need to do anything. Maybe we should have just changed the dust seals. Alright, be very careful not to scratch anything in there. It's got to be super clean in there. Okay. Alright, and then I'm just going to do that a couple more times, alright? Okay, so while I was cleaning the leg, the little foam ring came out, so I've got to put it back in. I think we can put it back in without having to take the seal out, so that's what I'm going to do. So, but since we got it out, we might as well soak it in this stuff, all right, this semi-bath oil. So that's what I'm going to do. That's why I got this little cup here. I got this from the dollar store. Just put it in something and then just squirt some oil in there. Okay, and then let it soak for like a few minutes, and then we'll put it back in when we're ready to reassemble. Yeah, actually, just leave it in there, and then we're gonna go ahead and clean this bad boy next. Okay, I'm not really sure what direction it goes in, but I think it'll be okay if you install it upside down. I'm not 100% man. Yeah, so I was not intending for that to come out, but it came out when I was putting. I was like, what is this? I'm like, oh damn, this is that foam ring. Okay, so now we're going to go clean this off. That's not good. There's some scratches here. So I'm going to clean the lower leg as best as I can. There's like oil and crap all over it. Let's get any kind of crud out of there. And whatever you do, don't get any dirt inside the leg. Okay? Yeah, you definitely want to clean the outside and the inside as best as you can. Okay, I've got a new one. I'm going to clean the damper rod. Make sure these O-rings that are on here are in good shape. Okay. They are. Okay, and so what we're going to do is we're going to fill this up with some oil just to rinse any kind of old fluid out with some new fluid, and then we're going to drain it again. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put some oil in. I already put some oil in, guys. I didn't get it on camera, but here, just to show you guys. All right, just pour some oil in there. All right, some oil. I'm using Maxima 5-weight fork oil. All right, whatever oil you put in there, just make sure it's for forks, okay, guys? And that's what they use, 5-weight. Okay, and then we're gonna pump it a few times to get it on there. So another good reason is I don't know what kind of oil is in here, so we want to make sure like whatever was in there, we rinse that out. Okay, and then we're just going to turn it upside down and drain it into the pan. Okay, and then we're going to pump it like we did before. Okay, and that way that rinses whatever old fluid is out in there, and it helps
get our new fluid in there. That's what I would do on a motorcycle fork, guys. And like before, it should get easier as the fluid comes out. Right? And you want to make sure you get as much out there as possible, because we're going to be putting in a set amount of fluid. So if there's some fluid in there, you're going to already put too much fluid, all right? Make sure you drain this really good. I'm going to let it sit here for a while to let it drain. Okay, and then I'm going to go wipe it down again, and then we're going to try to reassemble all this. Okay, so while you're at it, just take a look in there and take a look at the bushings and stuff, and make sure they're not worn out or anything. They look fine to me. Right, I don't even know how to take those out. But yeah, they look good. All right, this one is the bottom one. See, there's an upper one and there's a bottom one. The bottom one is divided into like 4 sections, sorta, and then the top one is just like a whole one. Okay. Just make sure those are in good shape, which they look like they are. Okay. Okay. So we've got our foam here, foam ring. I've had it soaking in the bath oil for a while now. It actually sucked up all the oil in there, and I had to add more. Okay, so I think they want you to saturate that thing, man. Okay, all right. So this is ready, and we're gonna go put it back in, hopefully. All right. Also clean the top cap too. All right. Make sure you wipe it down and make sure it's really clean. Okay, Hades Meg is gonna attempt to put this foam ring back in. If we can't, we're gonna have to take the seal out and put it back in. What a pain in the booty, alright? But yeah, I've got it soaked in the oil, and we're just going to kind of finagle it in there. Okay, it's supposed to sit underneath the dust seal. Okay, oh, I got it back in there. Still in great shape. Okay, I'm going to wipe that area around it because we got some of that bath oil everywhere. Okay, and I'm going to wipe the seal one more time. Make sure the seal is nice and clean, alright? So we're fixing to put it back. Okay, I've got the ring in there. That wasn't too bad. It went in nicely. And then now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put some Slickoleum grease on the seal. Alright, this guy. Okay, get a dab of grease. Put it around the seals. The dust seal. Around the inside, maybe around the lip. We'll wipe off the excess later. I'm not really sure how much to put. I'm just going to put a lot. Okay. And then now we're going to put the leg back in. Okay, slide the damper leg back in. Or the inner leg. Okay. Make sure you wipe the shaft down pretty good. Okay. Now we're going to flip it around. Okay, we're going to go flip the leg around. Okay, make sure it doesn't fall through. Hold the damper rod. Just going to lightly clamp it here. All right. Yeah, I can see it's letting out already. Okay, so yeah, to do the full service, you're gonna want to change this O-ring, but I'm not. So okay. Okay, so the rod doesn't fall. We're just gonna screw the top cap on real quick. Okay. That should let it not fall out anymore. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to go torque the top cap onto the damper rod. And to do that, I need a torque wrench. Okay, so get your torque wrench out. All right, I'm going to set it to 7 Newton meters. There's a range that they give you. It's like 7 to like 9 Newton meters, and they have it in inch pounds. I will put it in a subtitle at the bottom of the video what exactly it is, but I'm going to set my torque wrench to 7 Newton meters. Okay, somewhere around there. Okay, I've got the bottom bracket socket. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and torque this bad boy. I'm going to get the 12 millimeter wrench in there and torque it. Okay, that's it. Get that? All right. Okay, guys, now we got to go fill it up with fork oil. Like I said, I'm using Maxima 5 weight fork oil. All right. It's as long as it's 5 weight and it's for a fork, it's okay. Okay. So we're going to fill it with 200 milliliters. In the video they said cc's, but milliliters is the same as cc's. Okay. So I've got this little measuring cup here that I bought at the dollar store just for this. Okay. Make sure it's clean too. Okay, I'll put it on a level surface. That's close enough. Might be a little bit more. Okay, we've got our 200 milliliters of fork oil right here, and we're going to go pour it in. Okay, pull up on the top cap a little bit and just pour it in. I couldn't quite get it. I had to tilt it a little bit. Alright, but there you go. That's 200 milliliters. Okay, so now it says to stroke it like 15 to 20 times. Make sure that the rebound knob is all the way in. Alright. I believe I did that before I even started. Okay, so it's all the way in. Alright. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pull this up all the way. Okay. There we go. Okay, I've removed it from the vise, and I pushed the lower leg into the upper leg is almost all the way. All right, and then we're gonna pump it 15 to 20 times. Let's just do 20. Well, then it's not moving. One. Oh, it's already doing its thing, that's for sure. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, I'm just gonna speed up the video, guys. Okay, that's 20. Alright. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna turn the rebound knob counterclockwise 2 clicks and do the same thing again. Alright, so 1, 2. Okay, and then you're gonna stroke it 15 to 20 more times. Alright, I'll just speed up the video. 1, 2, 3. Alright, I'm just gonna speed it up. 20. Alright, there we go. Alright, so now we're gonna tighten the top cap on there finally. Okay, so what we're supposed to do next is we're going to fully extend the leg as far as it'll go. Alright, and then put the top cap back on. Okay, I'm gonna do by hand as much as I can. Okay, and then so the torque spec is the same as the cap to the rod. All right, so it's a 7 Newton meters. I'll put a subtitle right down here what the range is, but I'm gonna do 7 Newton meters. Okay. Oh, and don't let it slip like that. Oh my God, I can't do it. There we go. Woo. I will do it one more time when I put it back on the bike, all right? Okay, and then we're done. All right. Looks good. So we got some fresh oil in there. Time to go put it back. All right, let me just wipe it down. Okay, let's go put it back. Okay, I'm gonna go put it back in the bike. Yeah, so the expert stickers are on the side. That's how I remember it. Slide it back up there. You're going to want to put your little bumper back on, all right? And anything else that was kind of on there, but man, these bumpers are all cracked and stuff. You might need to buy new ones. Okay. Slide it up in there. Okay, like I mentioned, I'm going to torque it again while it's up there because that vise didn't really grip it all that well. Okay, so I've got it too high in the fork leg. All right, I want it all the way down where it was before, but we're going to take our little tool here. So if you don't have a vise to grip it, or you don't want to damage it, because like my vise isn't really for doing that. All right, it's not one of those fancy mountain bike ones. You can do it while it's in the crown, all right? So that's exactly what I'm going to do. All right, so 7 Newton meters. Oh, don't let it slip like that. Oh my God, dude, what the heck? Problem is, I have hardly any room to do this. Okay, there we go. Okay, did you get that? I heard a little click. That should be good. It's not very tight at all. So let's say. Okay, and then make sure that the fork is at the right height. All right. So I'm going to push it all the way down. I'm going to loosen this. Probably would help if I took my handlebar off. Man, maybe it's making us lazy. Okay, we're going to push this down. Oop, okay, too far. Just get it the right height. All right, make sure you measure it before you take it off, but I want it to be all the way to the top. Okay, that should be good. Okay, get the fork orientated the right way. I'm going to tighten this, but don't tighten it too much. The crown bolts. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and torque the bolts. I'm going to torque it to 11 Newton meters, alright. They used a different spec in the movie, but I took these off of the manual, alright. So 11 Newton meters. Okay. The bottom ones you probably want to do twice because they're going to be like tightening on each other. Okay, and that's it. We're done. Okay, and the last thing to do is to set your rebound adjuster. I didn't mess with the compression at all. Okay, so we didn't remove anything for the compression on the damper leg, so we didn't do anything to the damper leg. Okay, the only thing we adjusted was this. So this is the one I'm going to put back. Right. So if you remember correctly, after you pour the fork oil in, you have to close this all the way. All right. So now we're going to put it back to where. And then we opened it 2 clicks, all right? So I've got it closed. I counted 20 last time. That's what I was using, all right? So I'm going to try let's try like 16, all right? So we'll go 16 counterclockwise from full close, all right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Okay. Whatever setting that you were working on before, all right? So everyone's bikes are different, all right? I like it really soft if I'm riding off-road, right? Okay. Okay, there you go. So that was how to change the oil on your damper leg fork assembly. All right, this guy, the one on the right is the damper leg. All right, I will have a separate video on when I do the air sight. All right, I think the air sight is even easier, and we don't even use any fork oil on the other side. So okay, yeah, man, these mountain bike forks are kind of weird. All right, it's very similar to a motorcycle fork, but not really. Okay, and so one thing you want to do is make sure you're checking the O-rings that's on inside, and make sure they're in good shape. Mine look like they're in good shape. Everything looked brand new in there, except where the leg is. It was like scratching. There was some scratches on it, so I don't know what that was. Maybe some dirt got in the seal or something. All right, so probably I'm not gonna lie, the least that you want to do is probably change the seal and the foam ring. All right. Now my foam ring fell out when I was cleaning the leg, so
So I had to put it back in. I said, hey, you know, might as well soak it in the bath oil again. So that's what I did. I soaked it in the bath oil while we were cleaning the fork leg and everything. I let it soak, and then I just carefully put it back in underneath the dust seal, and then we put the leg back together. I'd say you could probably do this in like an hour. All right, it depends on how fast you can get your bike apart, type of thing. All right. But you could probably do this in an hour. It wasn't hard at all, just to change the oil, okay? Now, to do the full service, there's a video on that. That's the video that I used to do this, all right? Except I took everything out. I did everything. I did only the parts where we changed the oil, all right? We didn't take the damper assembly out and change the O-rings and stuff. There's a lot more. It'd probably take double the time to do that. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. All right, so maybe next time that's probably what I'll do. But you have to buy the service kit that has all the O-rings and stuff to change. So that's why you need to inspect the O-rings and see how good they are. They look fine to me. All right, so all I did was change the oil. In fact, when I changed the oil still looked like it was in great shape still. So I don't think I even had to change that. All right, but it was good to take a look in there, see what's going on, and then everything looks okay. All right, so 1 year on my Dorado fork. I like the Dorado a lot. It's definitely better than what was on my Sauron before. Okay, I'm not gonna lie though, I would rather have like a real motorcycle fork. All right, these are like super duper light also. Okay, thanks for watching. I will have a list of the tools that I used in the description of the video if you would like to purchase them on Amazon. All right, most of them I bought off of Amazon, and I use that in my little toolkit. I will have a separate video on the toolkit, all right, to service the fork. All right, thanks for watching. Hayes Big out.